Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across me is the one and only Cash Krause. But before we begin, if you guys could please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. So with that said, Cash, what are we reviewing today?
Well, Mason, it's been a while since we reviewed an Indian film.
Yes, it has been.
So it is that time, and it's a Malayalam film as well.
Yes.
A 2021 superhero Malayalam.
The first Malayalam superhero film?
Hold the phone.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is.
That's crazy talk. And it is Minnal Murali, which translates to Lightning Murali.
All right.
That's
Minnal is lightning.
It's the name of our titular character.
It is. It absolutely
Played
is.
by
Tovino Thomas.
Tovino.
Oh, boy. He's a big deal.
Oh, boy. Oh,
This guy's
boy.
a big deal in India.
Yeah, he is. What was the last thing we saw Tovino Thomas in? Have we reviewed a movie that he's in? I know we've seen him before.
Yeah, no, we've definitely seen him before. I guess, Virus. We saw him in the trailer for Virus.
Lucifer, didn't we see? Didn't we watch the trailer for that?
Oh, duh, Kala as well.
Virus, I do
bunch.
remember. Yep.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Very, very famous.
But I don't know if we've reviewed any of those, have we?
No, we haven't.
I don't think we have.
Did we? We might have reviewed Kala. Am I going crazy?
I know the name for sure. Sounds super.
No, we didn't review Kala, but I heard this was a really good film.
Kala sounds very familiar. Yeah. Nonetheless, a big star in India for sure. Directed by Basil Joseph.
Yes, Basil.
Basil. Is that how you say
Joseph. I think so. I think that's how you say it.
It's not Basil.
Basil? Basil?
He's directed only 3 movies. His last movie was Gada. I don't know if I've seen that. No, I have not. Definitely
I've
have
not
not.
seen any of these.
Starring Tovino Thomas.
But
though.
he has acted quite a bit. He acted in Joji.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Guy's in everything.
Yes.
Yeah, a film that was pushed back, of course, due to the pandy. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
That will happen.
And it happened for about 2 years. Luckily, Netflix was able to pick up this film and acquire the rights, and they eventually released it.
This was a film that was oddly delayed twice. One for the pandemic, and one for vandalism of a church.
Of a set, yeah.
I forgot about that. We
Remember,
talked about that.
it was those damn right-wingers. Thanks, Wikipedia.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, why did they do it? Because they felt it was sacrilege to make a set of a church or something?
Right.
Wasn't that
So
it?
it was several activists of Antarashtra Hindu Pardisham AHP in Bajrang Dal took credit for destroying the church replica by posting on their social media pages about it. So they were gloating about vandalizing a church.
Not a smart criminal move.
No, not a good criminal move. They said in a Facebook post that members of AHP, along with members of Bajrang Dal, had demolished the temporary church set as it was placed opposite to a temple.
What's hilarious about that is the church set gets blown up.
It does, yeah.
That's the set that gets blown up. So really, they were just jumping the gun on destroying the set.
Yeah.
They're like, let us destroy it first. But yeah, I forgot it's a big portion of the Wikipedia page.
It is the controversy of
That's
the
crazy
vandalism.
that delayed the film. That whole thing fucking
Well, I
delayed
mean,
the film.
probably, you got to spend a couple more crore to get that whole thing fixed.
If they
figured
actually
out.
burned it down, you
Yeah.
got to do the whole thing over again. That would take a lot of time. People did not want this film to be made.
No, they didn't. They don't like these superheroes.
They don't like them. False gods.
Yes, that's what
False
they call
prophets,
them. False
yeah.
gods.
Well, Mason, what did you think? You weren't part of the right-wing group that burned down the church. So what
No,
did
I
you
am
think?
part of other groups that may be
Other
involved
radical
in,
groups.
Yeah, the old J6 and stuff. No, I'm just joking. But no, as far as the film is concerned, like it is Malayalam's first superhero film. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I remember.
I think it is.
Talking about
Yeah.
that a lot.
And for the first film, there were a lot of things that they executed well as far as what you want from a superhero film. In other aspects, I thought as crazy as this is, because it's an hour or it's 2 hours and 40 minutes, but there were some things they could have explained a little better with the powers.
Yeah,
also,
that was played pretty fast and loose.
Yeah, it was. It was really fast for me anyway, because I would have liked to get a better explanation behind it. But I like the villain. And I do like Minnal Murali as well. I mean, what did you think?
I thought just pretty much the complaints I always have about most India cinema, unfortunately. I felt it was too long. I felt there was a lot of storylines, side plots you could have cut out.
Yes.
The most interesting part for sure is the dynamic between these two characters. I would have liked just to focus on that.
Right. And not a bunch of like, Mindy
marriage
and
things
Cindy
going
and,
on, and this one girl needs help with a surgery at some point.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are in love with people that aren't in love with them, are supposed to be married by other people. There's
And
a
then
lot
their
of
exes
that.
are trying to fall in love with each other.
I really like the story of these two being connected in a way because they both got powers on the same day, but
Right.
both had kind of different motives of using those powers. I like that a lot. I think there's a really good story there. But did this need to be 2 hours and
40 minutes.
No, a superhero film never needs to be 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
Well, take that back.
We haven't seen one yet.
Well, yeah, we have.
What?
Endgame.
Endgame was
Avengers.
right.
Yeah.
Even then, it doesn't make my top 10 superhero films probably.
Well, you better backtrack when the old Batman comes out, good sir.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't seen one yet where I was like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that deserves 3 hours. Endgame, pretty fucking long. But also, you had 90 superheroes in
You
Endgame.
did. You really did.
It didn't feel that long because every scene was like a new separate movie. This one just, again, it had a lot of side plots that I didn't care for, but I liked the technical aspect. I thought when they were doing their superpowers, it looked good. The end kind of goes off the rails with the bus. Just for one, the bus driver getting knocked out and just the bus staying on that one road for 30 miles?
Yeah.
And no one driving the bus?
No one
And then
stopping
it
it.
ends.
And then they go on this like
where's this cliff
comical
coming
cliff.
from?
Yeah, where did this cliff come from? But
There's a lot of that where it's like it just cut to something.
Mm-hmm.
And then the little girl, I mean, I don't want to jump right to the end.
Right.
The little girl sliding on the bus, and then cut the next scene. She's hanging off
from a thread, literally.
from higher up on the bus, though. She somehow was sliding on
Slid
the ground
up
and then
onto that? Yeah, that part didn't make much sense. Yeah, there were some continuity issues.
Like, why not just show those scenes? Show a practical scene of her somehow falling out of the bus or whatever.
Right.
Why cut that?
Yeah, I don't know.
It made me seem like there's no possible way for them to do it. Like, we can't just think of it. We can't. There's a dozen ways you could have done that.
Do you know who my favorite character was in this? My favorite character in this
Was it
film?
the little boy?
Josimon. Yes, dude. Fucking
Funny
hilarious.
looking. I mean, not funny looking in a mean way, but
no, not
very
in a mean way.
funny
But like just
appearance.
just like very
Long, bushy hair.
It's so funny in those big glasses. And the
grandma
kid,
glasses,
Every
yeah.
time he smiled, I would make me smile. I was like, oh my God, I love this little kid.
Kid, it was great.
He was good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I liked.
Like, I'm sorry, but every time every time he realizes his uncle is a superhero, he goes like this, and then he turns and he goes, and his eyes just light up as if he
Yeah.
just discovered
He was
something
like
new.
the first person to know, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yep. First one to suspect.
Yeah, for sure. Not hiding it super well.
No,
Honestly. I don't
no.
know how people didn't know, but
Well, especially when he pushed his brother-in-law into the well, but the thing is completely broken.
that's what some things were like. This is a good film to have over the top like action pieces because
Yeah,
it's
it is.
rare. But some things were so like Looney Toony.
Yeah.
Of like especially him pushing the guy in the wheel and the outline.
Like, was
Like
him.
what are
I
we?
was like, oh,
Is it serious or is it not serious?
Yeah.
I mean, like what is there? I mean, because that would have killed you. Because that guy not phased at all.
No, he's like, "Hey,
hell,
get me
I'm
out."
exploding.
He
He's
goes,
like,
"Sorry,
a neck
Uncle."
brace. Every bone in your fucking body would be broken
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, there's some things I like, some things I didn't like as much.
I think the continuity of the powers I had a problem with because there were some times where it was like he could block a kick and then
Really?
other times he's getting hit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, which again, it's a superhero film. So like I do have a little bit of leniency towards those types of things. However, when you're doing the action sequences, you need to make sure that if you can block this time, you can block that time, And there was some of that where I was picking up on. I thought as far as like aesthetically and visually, I thought it looked good overall. You could tell it was you could tell certain moments CGI, but I thought the choreography was pretty well done.
Yeah, I thought even the CGI parts were pretty good. I mean, some practical effects too, but I thought that they didn't use a ton of CGI. Some things kind of look hokey, but I thought they did a pretty good job. That's not really my biggest complaint. Was every time I felt they fought someone, I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Even when they're fighting each other, I thought it looked pretty good. This was a movie that I would love to see remade almost immediately into a shorter and more serious take. Because again, I really like the story of them being linked, them shooting, or them getting both struck by lightning at the same time. I think a good story element to add into this would have been if both their powers were kind of like waning. Like they got powers right at the start, because they talked about how when you get struck by lightning, you harness all that power.
Right.
If it doesn't have anything. But I thought it would have been a good element too if they were both slowly losing their powers as well. And they were both kind of like on a crunch to accomplish something.
Right.
I think they needed to accomplish a little more too than just getting the girl. That was mostly it.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good point that you make, because again, and that's typical like screenwriting and whatnot, but like you have to have something that is inevitable that's going to happen to further the plot along faster. But when you only have elements of, I got to get the girl, or I need to fall in love with the girl, there's no real time frame on that, because like the girl is getting married and all these types of things. So
it's like, do you need superpowers to get this girl?
Right.
You could be a normal dude and kind of get this fucking girl. And for some reason, I don't know why it is, but I would have liked if Tovino Thomas and the bad guy weren't super connected. Like they knew each other very close right off the bat.
Yeah, it was a small village.
Yeah, I would have liked if they were like, I mean, small, but I felt big enough to where maybe you don't know everyone. I thought it would have been better if they were completely separated, and then slowly they kind of brought each other back together. Because the villain guy, he right at the bat, he starts robbing banks and stuff, and then Tovino Thomas, he starts. It could be a mixed thing where at the start you're not sure the villain is the good guy, and then Tovino Thomas' character could have been the bad guy, and then at the end they could have swapped, because Tovino Thomas' character, he wasn't like the superhero that you would imagine. At the start,
he was kind of an entitled brat too.
Yeah. He wanted to leave to go to America right off the bat. He was never going to marry that girl. I can't remember her name.
Bunty or something like that. Like that, yeah.
Biddy? I can't remember.
Benji or Bidgie.
But he wasn't going to marry. So I would have thought it would be cool if at some point they kind of swapped and switched. But it didn't happen. He was pretty much the villain the whole time. It's sad, though. Hey, he had a complicated villain story, I would say.
Yeah, he did.
He's kind of a piece of shit right at the start.
You could say that.
But then he lost his gal.
Yeah.
In a fire that made him Green Goblin-esque.
Holy shit, dude. Did that escalate quick? As soon as he lost... Okay.
I didn't think he was covered in burns.
Well, we got to talk about this, too. I mean, how many firecracker bombs do these people have?
Let's talk about the very start.
Yeah, the start.
That kid gets hit with, an M80, and he flies back 80 feet? I think I hit by a mortar shell.
I don't know how he did explode on impact.
He should have been in pieces.
Yeah, he should have been.
That was a crazy start, but yeah, there's a lot of explosions throughout.
Yeah, there are.
That kid was fucked up right at the start.
Yes, he was.
Tovino Thomas. It's weird he didn't know his dad was. He was like 9.
Yeah, but they said he lost his memory, and that's why he couldn't remember. And then you bring it back in the third act.
It's too convoluted for me. Well, and then they kind of throw the whole dad thing in there randomly. The cop.
Oh, I know.
What a dickhead.
What? No, that cop was an asshole.
If I was the guy who adopted him, I would have been fighting that cop.
Oh, I would have hit him.
Hey, that's my duty.
Yeah, to tell him.
He's not mad at all.
Yeah, Varkey was not Jason's real father. And in fact, it was Martin.
Yeah, who was the guy who was the original.
Yeah. The guy saving people from the fires and stuff. Yeah, and wrote the screenplay, not the screenplay, but the playwright, the unfinished playwright called Minnal Murali.
Right. Sucks you don't remember that. Your dad was awesome.
Yeah.
What convenient convenient firework that just wiped 9 years of this game.
I know. Well, and then
Show some of that where the guy has to he's got to relearn how to walk and stuff. I mean, even fucked up.
But why does every house have firecracker bombs? Because then you go to his house and he's like, "Oh, I love you, Usha, and we're gonna be together. We're gonna live in eternity. Blah blah blah. Are you with me?" And she finally says, "Yeah, I am." He goes out of the house to go fight the mob that wants to kill him, and someone throws fire. And then the firecracker bomb goes off, and boy, was that an explosion.
Yeah. And the
They're
one
dead
guy
instantly.
in the ruly mob to burn this bitch to the ground, that guy.
I know. Just no regard for who's in the house. Like, you are solely responsible for a woman and
Not
a
only
child
that, but
dying.
no one knew it was also a fireworks depot that they were storing.
That's what I'm saying.
Every building in here is storing.
That's my question. Why did every house have fireworks in it? I don't get it. They're not safe.
I don't think they were supposed to be fireworks. I think they're supposed to just be explosions that looked like fireworks.
But why? Why do you have
I don't know.
explosions in your house? It was not explained at all.
It was like houses that stored magnesium or something because they were sparking and blowing up. But turns Green Goblin for sure.
Yeah. And the actor was pretty good, too, because he was maniacal.
I liked him. I liked him at the
walls.
end for sure. Yeah. Especially when he's just crouching on the pillar, laughing.
Yes, yeah. His name is Guru Somasundaram.
Yeah. And he comes, yeah. Overall, I didn't hate it. There's just some aspects I thought you could cut it out and then focus on what's most interesting,
Right.
which is these guys with superpowers. And it's not the brother-in-law.
No.
You don't follow that guy, but we end up following that guy
A lot.
a lot.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I love the concept. I think the concept's a really good idea of two people getting struck by lightning. And that was something too. They did a really good job in the beginning of the film, and we see this a lot in American films as well. But the way they explained what the lightning was through the two doctors on TV. And it was actually a really funny moment opening up because it's like a slow zoom out. And then two old guys are watching. He goes, "Do you know what the hell these guys are talking about?" And he goes, "No."
That doctor is so fucking funny when he hooks him up to the machine and machine blows up.
Oh,
and the doctor
yeah.
was like, they ask him, they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" And the doctor goes, "How am I supposed to know?" He just gets so
He's
mad.
so
He goes,
mad.
"Maybe that's what it's supposed to do." And it's like sparking and blowing up. And like, what? This is his first day on the job. He's got no clue. But yeah, I would have liked it, like I said, if they didn't know each other and at some point their stories become intertwined through them having this shared power, the only one having this power, but no one seemed that off-put that this guy has superpowers even.
No, and then, I also like the idea, too, of the Minnal Murali on the wall and then, like, the back and forth and kind of more so the cat and mouse dynamic of the true Minnal Murali, Jason, trying to capture this imposter who's making him look bad, who's setting him up for murder and shit.
Yeah, although Jason did beat up a bunch of cops.
Well, but fuck them.
Doesn't make it, but no, nonetheless, doesn't make you look good.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
it
from
doesn't.
outside's
Well, and then
perspective.
he wrote his own name on the wall. But again, it's the lack of justice. Sometimes you gotta beat up cops.
Well, these cops, one of these cops did like to do is slap, and we can talk about that.
They did like to slap, absolutely.
Because anytime Jason brought up marrying this guy's sister, slap right to the fucking
Right
face.
to
You're
the
not
mouth.
marrying her. You're marrying this other dorky guy that comes in. That was a big.
Yeah, what was his name?
can't
God, it was so. That guy was the biggest dork on planet Earth.
Yeah, he's like, now we can pray together. God, Elena. Well, we got to talk about the part where they get the powers because he is inarguably one. How fucking scarred would these kids be seeing Santa get struck by lightning? That's all I can think of. And these kids would be fucked.
Yeah, for sure.
Just Santa having a good old time. Actually, Santa arguing over having a woman, which is already kind of weird. Like, what is this, Santa drunk? Well, as a kid, you're like, this guy's supposed to give us
What
presents.
about Mrs. Claus?
Then gets, it's cheating on Mrs. Claus.
I think so.
Then
Sounds
gets
like it.
fried.
Fried by lightning. And then Josimon, his nephew, was like, started like crying. He's
I
like,
went-
Uncle! This is terrifying.
The Santa costume, horrifying.
Oh my God.
The paper mache.
I literally thought it was supposed to like scare people. I'm like, what in the fuck is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
horrifying. But then to see this guy get literally killed by and all these kids
In front of all
just
of them.
instantly start weeping. Santa, Christmas ruin.
Yeah, where's the Christmas spirit?
This guy is fried too.
Oh yeah, no, he's burnt pretty good.
Charred. Gets hit. Another thing I thought was so funny was like they rushed this guy to the hospital, Jason. The other guy gets struck by lightning, just floating in a boat.
Shibu. Yeah, he's just floating.
Doesn't ever get taken to the hospital.
No.
One guy tells him as soon as he sees him, he goes, "Geez, someone beat the shit out of you again." Then he sleeps for 3 days.
He does, and then it's an
no
earthquake.
one's worried about
like,
this guy.
Get out! Get out!
Someone beat the shit out of him. He was fried.
He was fried, and then his clothes were all disheveled and cut up and torn.
And he thought his friend thought he got mugged.
Of course.
Who'd mug him with a flamethrower?
Who'd you make mad this time?
Yeah, I know.
That was his question. It's like, really?
Doesn't get taken to the hospital. Probably has the roughest 4 days after that.
You could say that.
He's in a rough shape for sure.
Well, he's coughing up some blue shit.
That's what I thought. It would have been really good if like one guy came from like a higher class or something, like Tovino Thomas's character ended up being, and this other guy was much poorer or something, and they both got these powers. At some point, like I said, they switch places. That's how it should have been. They were damn near equals when they got shocked by powers.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
There should have been some kind of dynamic like that, where one's really abusing the powers and then one isn't, and then they switch. But with that whole kind of the fuse being lit that their powers would end one day, you wouldn't have them anymore. Yeah. I thought that would have been really cool.
I got to say, I did enjoy Minnal Murali's costume at the end. In the full-blown red face mask, I'm like, that's a little on the nose.
I can't believe, he only had it for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I thought for sure the whole time he'd be having that.
I know, and then he was like, fuck it, everyone knows who I am anyway.
Yeah,
he's like, why am I wearing this stupid mask?
Yeah. Yeah, it really did not matter at all if he covered his face. That's the one thing that I feel like 3/4 of them. Why is anyone covering their faces?
I know, if you don't have to. Yeah, why?
And there was no danger to him, though.
No.
Even like at the very start, they could have not covered their face.
And I gotta
they
say,
were no ones.
No, of course not. But I got to say, like, I did enjoy the end. The impaling was awesome.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I have to say, I think that was taken from, remember the movie Chronicles?
Yes, the Vin Diesel film.
No, that's Chronic of the Riddick. Oh. No, Chronicles was the one, it was the found footage film where the 3 kids get superpowers.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one too.
It's all found footage, but the bad guy at the end of that dies in the exact same way.
Oh.
So I gotta.
It's been a while since I've seen that.
That's an underrated film for sure. Yeah, but he gets impaled in the exact same way. I have to assume it was inspired. Minnal Murali was inspired by that. Yeah, because there's not very many superhero films where a guy gets impaled and he's just stuck.
Yeah.
What I thought was funny about this is the townsfolk did not care that guy was impaled. They surrounded.
I know, it was all like a great moment. There were a bunch of kids around.
They're
like,
partying. Meanwhile, this guy's still. I'm not dead yet.
Just coughing up blood.
Someone shoot me.
Someone put me out of my fucking misery. I know I just tried to attempt to burn you all in the church, but kill me.
Blood spraying out.
Fuck, I'm in so much pain.
He's trying to get.
I need to finish it. Meanwhile, the kids are holding hands, singing songs.
Dancing around, and this guy's spraying. But one thing I did like is I like that they both had kind of different powers, which at the very end, it kind of seemed like they had the same exact power. Yeah. But I liked at the start how he had telekinesis, and the other guy was just strong and fast.
Right.
But towards the end, they're both just strong and fast.
Right. And then you find out he also has telekinesis because when the bell falls and then he remembers his father and all that.
Yeah. And that's a pretty good scene, though, too. That was pretty good when, like, again, it's been done in a lot of superhero films, but, like, when the dust is floating up around them, it was done in Superman and a lot of other films. But yeah, you could tell for sure for their first superhero film, they were taking inspiration from a lot of other superhero films. But how do you not? How do you make a superhero film without having inspired by so many others?
And again, I think there are a lot of things that they did execute well on, but just some things that they need to tighten up for the second one because it's already in development, the second film.
Yeah, drop all that side story shit. I mean, obviously, I think you're going to have a new villain.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
He's not coming back from that, right?
No, and what new villain is it going to be?
Yeah, could you have another guy get struck by lightning?
I don't know. That's a lot of people struck by lightning.
A lot of people getting powers getting struck by lightning.
Maybe he just gets electrocuted, or I don't know.
Yeah, I am very
Got a
interested
power
to
grid
see
or
how
something?
electro. They can't
Electro,
electro it. It can't always be electric powers, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how you do a second one of these. I know people are loving this film right now in India.
Oh, they absolutely are.
I saw one guy got married and he dressed up as Minnal Murali at his wedding. Just him in the costume.
That's tremendous. Are you kidding me? I love it.
If you type in Minnal Murali in Google, the first thing that pops up is the story about that guy.
Dude,
So you know he must have liked the film.
Oh, yeah, no, he loved it.
Are you seeing it?
Yeah. He's got the mask and everything. I love it.
What do you think his wife is thinking? I made a massive mistake.
If it wasn't for this forced marriage, I would kill him.
We'd be fucking out of it.
Yeah, I wonder, do they still do? I don't. They might not do forced marriages anymore.
I think they do. I think it's called arranged marriage for one.
Well, arranged, forced, it's all the same.
And I
right?
think in sex in India they do. Of course, they're doing it in this film.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the whole thing was that. Yeah,
That's so messed up. Just let people marry who they want to marry.
she did not dress up in any kind of costume.
No, she didn't. She was just wearing a.
It's a bad sign, probably.
She's probably not thrilled about this guy.
Not a lot of smiles in the photos. As
No,
well.
I know she's not smiling much. Can't really tell with him because he's got his Minnal Murali mask on. But
There's a picture of him like he's standing on top of a building. Did you see that? Like during photo shoot, his
What?
wife's just like, yeah.
well, how about this one? He's looking down at her and she's looking up. Like, dude, seriously.
There's a lot of photos.
I love it. It's so fun.
Which is wild because the movie. When did the movie come out?
Just a couple months ago.
So that guy must have like changed his plans quick.
Oh, for sure.
And be like, hey, fuck all this. We're doing Minnal Murali wedding now.
Now.
And the
Yeah.
wife's like, what the hell? What do you mean?
I guess. Like,
Whatever.
I have a say.
Just do whatever the hell you want.
Just whatever. Let's just get this done and over with.
That's crazy.
It is. All right, Cash. Do you have anything else on Minnal Murali?
No.
All right. Well, everyone, that is our review for Minnal Murali. If you guys like what you're seeing here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Basil. That is Cash Kraus, and until next time.
Bye.